Hello students, today's video on the living organisms characteristics and habitats. It comes in class 6 and chapter 6 of science subject. Also before starting my lecture, like, subscribe and press the bell icon. Let's start. Organisms. Organisms are living entities that have the characteristics of life. They are individual units of life that can function independently, grow, reproduce, and respond to stimuli in their environment. Organisms can be found in a wide range of sizes and complexity, from microscopic bacteria to large multicellular organisms like plants and animals. Organisms are composed of cells, which are the basic structural and functional units of life. They can be classified into different groups based on their cellular structure, mode of nutrition, and other characteristics. The three main domains of organisms are archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Organisms interact with their environment and other organisms in various ways. They have specific adaptations that enable them to survive and thrive in their habitats. They obtain energy and nutrients through processes such as photosynthesis, in plants and some bacteria, or by consuming other organisms, in animals and many bacteria. The study of organisms is known as biology, and scientists called biologists explore the diversity, structure, function, and behavior of organisms. Understanding organisms and their interactions is crucial for understanding ecosystems, evolution, and the overall functioning of life on Earth. Organisms and the surrounding where they live. Organisms and the surrounding environment in which they live are intricately connected and form an ecosystem. An ecosystem is a dynamic system composed of living organisms, their physical environment, and the interactions between them. It encompasses both the biotic, living, and abiotic, non-living, components of a specific area. Organisms interact with their environment in various ways to obtain resources, survive, and reproduce. These interactions can be categorized into two main types: biotic interactions, abiotic interactions. Biotic interactions. Organisms interact with other living organisms within their ecosystem. These interactions can be categorized into different types, such as predation. Predators hunt and consume prey for energy and nutrients. Competition. Organisms compete for limited resources, such as food, water, and territory. Symbiosis. Organisms engage in close and long-term relationships that can be mutually beneficial, mutualism, one-sided, parasitism, or neutral, commensalism. Abiotic interactions. Organisms also interact with the non-living components of their environment. These interactions include climate. Organisms are influenced by factors like temperature, precipitation, sunlight, and wind patterns. Geology. Geological features, such as mountains, rivers, and soil composition, affect the distribution and adaptation of organisms. Nutrient cycles. Organisms interact with the biogeochemical cycles, such as the carbon, nitrogen, and water cycles, which influence the availability and cycling of essential elements. Habitat and adaptation. Habitats are specific environments or places where organisms live and can find the necessary resources to survive. They provide the physical and biological conditions that support different types of organisms. Habitats can be broadly classified into terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitats. Terrestrial habitats. Terrestrial habitats refer to habitats that exist on land. They encompass a wide range of environments, including forests, grasslands, deserts, tundra, mountains, and more. Here are some key terrestrial habitats. A. Forests. Forest habitats are characterized by a dense growth of trees and a variety of understory vegetation. They can be further classified into tropical rainforests, temperate forests, and boreal forests, each with unique plant and animal species adapted to specific climate conditions. B. Grasslands. Grassland habitats are characterized by vast open areas covered with grasses and few or no trees. They can be found in both tropical and temperate regions, and their biodiversity is influenced by factors such as rainfall, soil fertility, and fire regimes. C. Deserts. Desert habitats are arid regions with little rainfall and extreme temperature fluctuations. They can be hot deserts, such as the Sahara, or cold deserts, like the Gobi. Desert organisms have evolved adaptations to conserve water, tolerate high temperatures, and survive in harsh conditions. D. Tundra. Tundra habitats are found in the far northern and southern regions of the Earth. They are characterized by low temperatures, short growing seasons, and a layer of permanently frozen soil called permafrost. Tundra organisms are adapted to survive in cold climates with limited vegetation. Aquatic habitats. Aquatic habitats are habitats that exist in water bodies such as oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, and wetlands. These habitats can be classified based on their salinity and include freshwater habitats and marine habitats. Here are some examples. A. Freshwater habitats. Freshwater habitats include rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, and wetlands. They have low salinity and support a diverse array of organisms, including fish, amphibians, insects, aquatic plants, and microorganisms. These habitats are influenced by factors such as water temperature, flow rate, dissolved oxygen levels, and nutrient availability. B. Marine habitats. Marine habitats refer to habitats found in oceans and seas, which have high salinity. They encompass various zones, including the intertidal zone, coastal zones, coral reefs, open ocean, and deep-sea habitats. Marine habitats are home to a wide range of organisms, including fish, marine mammals, corals, algae, and many others. Germination. Germinated is the past participle of the verb germinate, which refers to the process by which a seed begins to sprout and develop into a new plant. When a seed germinates, it undergoes a series of changes that allow it to break dormancy and initiate growth. These changes are triggered by specific environmental conditions, such as suitable moisture, temperature, and light. During germination, the seed absorbs water, which activates enzymes and metabolic processes within the seed. This leads to the breakdown of stored nutrients, such as starches and proteins, which provide the energy and building blocks for the developing plant. As a result, the seed coat may split, and a root, radicle, emerges first, followed by the shoot, plumule, which will develop into leaves and stems. Adaptation. Adaptation, on the other hand, refers to the process by which organisms undergo genetic or behavioral changes that make them better suited to their specific habitat. Adaptations can be structural, physiological, or behavioral, and they enable organisms to survive, reproduce, and thrive in their particular environment. Structural adaptations involve physical features or characteristics that help an organism survive. Examples include camouflage. Organisms have coloration or patterns that allow them to blend into their surroundings, making them less visible to predators or prey. Protective coverings. Some organisms have shells, spines, or tough outer layers that provide protection against predators or harsh environmental conditions. Specialized appendages. Adaptations like beaks, claws, wings, or fins are designed for specific functions such as obtaining food, locomotion, or defense. Physiological adaptations involve internal processes or mechanisms that enable organisms to cope with environmental challenges. Examples include thermoregulation. Organisms can regulate their body temperature through processes like sweating, panting, or changing blood flow to different body parts. Water conservation. Some organisms have adaptations that allow them to minimize water loss, such as efficient kidneys, concentrated urine, or waxy coatings on their leaves. Salt tolerance. Certain organisms living in saline environments have adaptations to handle high salt concentrations, such as specialized salt-excreting glands. Behavioral adaptations involve actions or behaviors that organisms exhibit to increase their survival and reproductive success. Examples include migration. Many species undertake long-distance migrations to find more favorable habitats during different seasons or life stages. Hibernation. Some organisms enter a state of dormancy to conserve energy during periods of extreme cold or limited resources. Social behavior. Organisms living in groups may exhibit behaviors like cooperative hunting, communal care of offspring, or alarm calls to warn others of danger. Adaptations are the result of natural selection, where individuals with advantageous traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing those traits on to future generations. Over time, this process leads to the evolution of populations and species that are well suited to their specific habitats. A journey through different habitats. Some terrestrial habitats. Deserts. Deserts are arid regions characterized by low rainfall and extreme temperature variations. They are home to organisms adapted to survive in harsh and water-scarce conditions. Some examples of prey species in deserts include A. Kangaroo rats. These small rodents have specialized kidneys that allow them to conserve water. They feed on seeds, vegetation, and sometimes insects. B. Desert tortoises. These reptiles feed on various plant materials and are well adapted to survive with limited water resources. C. Desert beetles. These insects have developed strategies to collect moisture from the environment and feed on decaying plant matter. Predators in desert habitats have also evolved unique adaptations to survive and hunt in harsh conditions. Examples include A. Coyotes. These omnivorous predators feed on small mammals, birds, reptiles, and even cacti fruits. B. Rattlesnakes. These venomous snakes prey on small mammals, birds, lizards, and other reptiles. C. Fennec foxes. These small nocturnal predators feed on small mammals, birds, insects, and fruits. Mountain regions. Mountain regions are characterized by high elevations, steep slopes, and variable climate conditions. As elevation increases, temperature and oxygen levels decrease. Some prey species in mountain regions include A. Mountain goats. These ungulates are adapted to rocky terrain and can feed on various alpine plants. B. Pickers. Small herbivorous mammals that gather and store vegetation during the summer to survive the harsh winter conditions. C. Marmots. These rodents feed on grasses, herbs, and other plant material found in alpine meadows. Predators in mountain regions have adaptations to navigate steep terrain and cold temperatures. Examples include A. Snow leopards. These elusive predators hunt mountain goats, sheep, and other ungulates. B. Golden eagles. These birds of prey feed on small mammals, birds, and reptiles found in mountainous areas. C. Lynx. These feline predators primarily prey on small mammals like rabbits and rodents. Grasslands. Grasslands are characterized by vast areas of grasses with few or no trees. They can be found in both tropical and temperate regions. Some prey species in grassland habitats include A. Gazelles. These fast-running herbivores graze on grasses and leaves and serve as prey for larger predators. B. Prairie dogs. These social rodents feed on grasses and alert the colony of potential threats. C. Insects. Grasslands support a diverse range of insect species that serve as prey for various predators. Predators in grassland habitats have adapted to open spaces and rely on speed and agility to capture prey. Examples include A. Cheetahs. These iconic predators are known for their incredible speed, enabling them to chase down fast-running prey like gazelles. B. Lions. These social predators hunt in groups and target large herbivores such as wildebeests and zebras. C. Birds of prey. Various raptors like hawks and eagles inhabit grassland habitats and feed on small mammals, birds, and reptiles. Some aquatic habitats. Oceans. Oceans are vast bodies of saltwater covering a significant portion of the Earth's surface. They are home to diverse and complex ecosystems. Here, we focus on a unique feature found in certain ocean-dwelling organisms. A. Blowhole. A blowhole is a specialized breathing apparatus found in marine mammals like whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Located on the top of their heads, blowholes allow them to breathe air at the water's surface without fully exposing their bodies. When they exhale forcefully through the blowhole, it creates a characteristic spout of water vapor, which can vary in shape and size among different species. Ponds. Ponds are relatively small, shallow bodies of water, often characterized by aquatic vegetation and rich biodiversity. Here are some key features of pond habitats. A. Aquatic plants. Ponds typically support a variety of aquatic plants, including water lilies, cattails, duckweeds, and submerged plants like pondweed and watermilfoil. These plants provide oxygen, food, and shelter for many organisms. B. Tadpoles and amphibians. Ponds serve as important breeding grounds for amphibians. Tadpoles, the larval stage of frogs and toads, can be found in ponds, feeding on algae and plant matter until they undergo metamorphosis into adults. Lakes. Lakes are larger and deeper bodies of freshwater that can support a wide range of organisms. Here are some notable features of lake habitats. A. Limnetic zone. Lakes are often divided into different zones based on depth and sunlight penetration. The limnetic zone refers to the open water area where sunlight can reach. It is inhabited by planktonic organisms like phytoplankton, microscopic plants, and zooplankton, microscopic animals, which form the base of the lake's food chain. B. Fish diversity. Lakes are often home to various fish species, ranging from small minnows to larger predators like bass, trout, pike, and catfish. These fish species exhibit diverse feeding habits and adaptations for life in the water. Characteristics of organisms. 2. All organisms need food. Yes, all organisms require some form of sustenance to obtain energy and nutrients for their survival, growth, and maintenance. However, the type of food and the way it is acquired can vary among different organisms. For instance, plants use photosynthesis to convert sunlight into energy, while animals consume other organisms or plant matter as food. 2. All organisms show growth. Most organisms exhibit some form of growth during their life cycle. Growth involves an increase in size, complexity, and/or number of cells in an organism. While growth is a common characteristic, the rate and extent of growth can vary among organisms. Some organisms, like bacteria, can grow rapidly, while others, like trees, grow slowly over many years. 2. All organisms respire. Respiration, in its broadest sense, refers to the process by which organisms obtain energy from food and convert it into a usable form, usually ATP. While most organisms respire, the specific mechanisms can differ. For example, humans and many animals engage in aerobic respiration, using oxygen to break down food and release energy. In contrast, certain bacteria and yeasts can carry out anaerobic respiration in the absence of oxygen. 2. All organisms respond to stimuli. Yes, almost all organisms exhibit some form of response to external stimuli in their environment. This ability to respond to stimuli allows organisms to adapt to changing conditions and ensure their survival. Responses can range from simple behaviors, such as plants turning towards sunlight, phototropism, to complex behaviors exhibited by animals, including movement, hunting, and mating rituals. Living organisms and excretion. Excretion is the process by which organisms eliminate waste products resulting from metabolic activities. While all organisms produce waste, the specific methods of excretion can differ. For instance, animals eliminate waste through various organs, such as kidneys, lungs, or specialized glands. Plants eliminate waste products, such as oxygen and excess salts, through processes like transpiration. 2. All organisms reproduce their own kind. Reproduction is a fundamental characteristic of living organisms. While not all organisms reproduce in the same way, they do ensure the continuation of their species. Some organisms reproduce asexually, generating offspring that are genetically identical to the parent, e.g., bacteria through binary fission or plants through vegetative propagation. Others reproduce sexually, involving the fusion of gametes from two parents to produce genetically diverse offspring, e.g., humans, animals, and many plants. 2. All organisms move. While movement is a common feature in many organisms, not all organisms have the ability to move actively. Plants, for example, are generally rooted in one place and rely on external factors such as wind or animals for dispersal of their seeds. However, even non-mobile organisms may exhibit growth, orientation, and response movements that allow them to adapt to their environment. What is life? Life can be defined as the state of existence, growth, development, reproduction, and adaptation to the environment exhibited by living organisms. It encompasses the characteristics mentioned above, including the ability to obtain energy, respond to stimuli, show growth and reproduction, and carry out metabolic processes necessary for survival. Life is marked by organization, complexity, and the ability to maintain homeostasis, allowing organisms to function and interact with their surroundings. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.